Good morning, beautiful people. It is September 4th, Thursday. Let's talk about more about the warrants and the entry into what is a public space versus a private space. So first, let's define a public place. A public place is any place that is owned or maintained by the government and designated as such as a park, a library, your county hall of records, a courthouse. Those places are considered public spaces, meaning anybody from the public for any reason can come in and conduct business there. You know what's not a public place? A parking lot that's private. If it's a city parking lot, then it could be considered a public space. But if it's like the parking lot of a Home Depot, it is not public space. Or the mall. No. That's why they could tow your car if they want to. If it was a public place, they wouldn't be able to do that. It is a private place to conduct business. It's a parking lot provided for the people that conduct business in the establishments in that shopping center or that mall. Further, any business is a privately owned entity. And I don't mean in the sense that it's a public corporation. No. Even a Walmart, Target, all of those are considered private spaces because they are not owned by the state or the city or a municipality or the federal government. Therefore, they are private spaces, and without a warrant signed by a judge to allow them to go check out those places, they can't. Any police entity can't just come in and conduct things without permission, right? So, for example, let's say ICE comes with an administrative warrant to your place of business. They cannot enter your business. You can literally walk outside and go, "Can I help you?" And they say, "Well, I have this warrant for this person." And I'm like, "Is it signed by a judge?" And the bottom doesn't say the Honorable so-and-so. So it's a judge, the Honorable Judge so-and-so. It just has a signature and it's like, "This is not a judicial warrant. It has no validity. I don't know anything else. Good evening. I don't have to say anything else to you." If they refuse to leave, call the police. And then you say under section 241 and 242, the warrant that these people have provided is not judicial. And I've asked them to remove themselves from this private business or this private place. And they refuse to. So I don't want them here. They need to leave. And the police should tell them to go. And if the police does not do that, you report all that and you sue the fucking police for breach of duty. They're not doing their duty. Okay? This is real. You can check Title 241 and 242. They have to verify the warrant to see if it even has any validity. The only time a warrant has validity when coming from ICE is when it's signed by a judge. It's an administrative judge even, so it's not even like a judicial judge, but it's a judge nonetheless. And then that specific warrant should only be naming one or two people, whomever they're looking for. And then you still don't get to come in. You can call that person to the front of the building or to your lobby and say, "Hey, ICE is here for you. Go handle your business outside or don't come out." That's on the person. If the person says, "I'm not coming out," and they want to call their attorney, go ahead. You cannot force the person to come out, because then you as an employer or you as a manager are in trouble for forcing them and putting them in peril, and they can sue you. You don't get involved. All you say is, "ICE is here for you. I've notified the person if they're there." And if the person is not there, then you say, "They're not here." I'm not telling you to lie, and I'm not giving you legal advice. I'm just telling you what the procedures were based on some legal notices that we received at the beginning of the year. Okay? This is not legal advice. Disclaimer for this, but do with this information what you will. Okay? So, what constitutes a private place? Anything that is not owned or managed by a government entity and designated as a public space. As we said, public spaces could be libraries, parks, county register recorder buildings, civic centers, anything like that is managed by a city or state government is theoretically a public space. Private spaces, the mall is a private space. The mall parking lot is a private space. Walmart, it's a private space. The supermarket's a private space. The gym is a private space. Any store you go to is a private space because they reserve the right to refuse service to anyone, and they can't ask you to leave, right? Management can do that. It's because it's a private space. It's a private space. They can't just come in. Absolutely not. So do not comply. Close the door, lock it from the inside, call the police and explain what's going on and let the police deal with it. They don't have a warrant. They're here to terrorize people. They're not allowed to come in. I don't want them here. Matter of fact, you can even get their cars towed because they're in a private space and they're parked in there without your permission or authorization. Yep, you call a tow truck and say, like, I did not authorize these people to be on my property. They need to go. This is private property. And ICE has to go because ICE is not a police department. ICE is an administrative department. They don't have the same jurisdiction as the sheriff or the police, who can sometimes come in a private space because of they're conducting official police business. They are not the police. They're not a police agency. They're an administrative agency. And you can look this up online. Google it if you don't believe me. But what I'm telling you is what happened in that gym. Those people coming in with guns, failure to identify it. For all we know, they put on a nice uniform or costume and they're coming in with guns and they conduct a massacre, and they were allowed to do that by management. In management, if you're putting young people in the front and you're not telling them that these are your protocols for when ICE shows up or somebody pretending to be ICE shows up, you are doing your employees and your business goers, your customers, a disservice. When all of this started, I got a notice from our HR firm, and then I looked up what it was. I read it, and it literally said this: that we do not allow people to come in without a fucking warrant, and ICE cannot issue anything other than administrative or those judicial warrants, and the judicial warrants are very seldom for checking an entire building. They're usually for picking up just one person. And they can show it to you through a window. You don't have to open the door for that. You can say, show me through the window. Okay, let me see if that person's here. That's it. And then you're like, so-and-so, if you're in the building, ICE is here looking for you. You announce that. Done. You did your duty. You still don't have to open the door. So just know that when you're out there conducting business, protect yourself. Read those things. I'm going to see if I can pull up the document that states that and post a picture of it with a link so you guys can find it. But yeah, you have no right to go anywhere. Not into restaurants, not into malls, anywhere. And if they're doing that, they're the ones violating the law.